Meantime, there was this moment from the former president gaining tons of attention over the weekend.
We're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars if I get elected. Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. But they're not going to sell those cars. They're building massive factories.
Now, some keyed in on the term bloodbath, suggesting that Trump was predicting violence. However, the full clip, as you heard, a decent portion of it there, shows that Trump was talking about China's desires to build vehicles and Mexico sell them into the United States after that. But look at this headline in Bloomberg for just a moment. Headline today, quote, China's super cheap EVs offer hope for average American buyers. BYD's sub $10,000 Seagull electric car sets a new bar for global automakers, forcing Detroit to pivot toward cheaper rides. Nan, Denise, is Trump right here on the auto front?
Yes, I mean, he's absolutely right that America's so-called investment, this government-compelled taxpayer investment.
So you got no exception with what he said over the weekend?
Well, I'd love to not see 100% tariff, but everybody understands the point. What he is doing is talking to the American worker and to the auto workers of Detroit who have been betrayed by this government because EVs have not worked out, and these companies are suffering. And now the Chinese are going to waltz into Mexico and sell cheap EVs, probably with generous subsidies.
So it was the USMCA, which was the agreement that Donald Trump negotiated, would allow for this. China is simply playing by the rules that Donald Trump's White House laid down. So is Trump to blame?
There's a penalty,
for
but
part
it's
of
not
this?
as big as 100%.
Yeah, it's like 2% versus 100% of what he's floating.
Whatever it is, it's going to get fixed. It's bipartisan consensus that this is not going to be able to move forward the minute it starts happening. What I think is interesting about this is, you know, to President Biden, I would say, don't pick a fight that you can't win. What you did is President Trump baited you into being so dumb as to actually respond to the word bloodbath instead of the issue at hand, and then gave him 2 bites at the apple to go and explain what he said and double down on the conversation he's been having that's been winning auto workers over.
Do you feel baited?
I don't feel baited.
You feel baited?
No. Okay. Here, listen, you know, the 100% tariffs never work, if you will, because Americans can just go down to Mexico and buy a $10,000 car and drive it back up to the U.S. But here's the problem with the bloodbath. You all focused on the bloodbath, and so did the Democrats. I focused on what he said after that. He said the bloodbath. He says, and if I get elected, then he said that will be the least of it.
Well, he was talking about autos.
Yeah,
there.
he's talking about the economy and the auto industry.
I understand he said that. Then he said that the auto industry, the auto car, will be the least of it, meaning the it is the bloodbath. What is after the cars? And what's after the cars is his statements about political violence and his history of his supporters.
You think he was baited?
No, I think you're doing it again, Scott. I think you're way smarter than that. I think you should be smarter than that because you are. You shouldn't continue this narrative that literally gives Donald Trump every opportunity to go in and explain to the auto workers what they're doing.
Jeff and May, real quick.
He's a dangerous man, but there's no need for anyone to exaggerate or shade anything he says because he's dangerous enough when you listen to just anything he says.
Hey, May, real quick, I'm wondering what you make of that question. Is he actually right here on the auto front?
He is right on the auto front, and obviously USMCA was a bipartisan deal and had to be. And so what President Trump wanted was to just eliminate NAFTA, and I don't think that he cared whether it was replaced or not.
But it's his deal. That's part of my point, May. It was his deal, and China's just following, in theory, his deal, are they not?
I don't think that China has any interest in playing by the rules. So there's been, you know, a huge amount of washing of their goods, shipping them from here to there to there to there to there, so that by the time you finally get to Mexico, you can't all trace it back to China. But anyway, yeah, he's completely right, and the American people are going to respond positively to that.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.